So good evening, Australia. Can you believe it's almost the end of June? Where has this year gone? It just blows me away. So almost end of June, 19th of June, guys, and it's week 22 of our training. So excited to bring to you tonight one of the laws of growth. So there's a guy called Dr. John C. Maxwell. He's the guy that LiveVantage has now partnered with to train us. I'm hoping that sometime in the near future, when we have a big event in Australia, maybe once we've doubled our numbers, we're going to have John C. Maxwell come to Australia and train us. That's one of my dreams, and I've already asked for it. So we'll see. It's not going to happen yet, but we're going to have to increase our numbers. So how super exciting to have this man who's just incredible. You know, he's known to be the leader of the leaders. So this guy goes around to presidents, prime ministers, you know, top pastors in churches, and he teaches them principles and values that are just mind-blowing. So tonight we're going to look at one of the first laws. It's called the law of intentionality. There's 15 laws in growing yourself. And we're going to look at that. But first I'm going to share my screen. I just want to welcome, first of all, a couple of guests we have on here tonight. Virginia, Virginia, if you guys haven't met her yet, she's in Sydney. She's in one of our other LiveVantage teams, and an amazing, beautiful lady. Had a really successful event on Saturday night. You may have seen photos Pam put up. I think they had 30 odd people come to the event in Sydney, which was amazing. So we're really happy to have you on here tonight as well. So let's hop straight into it. Can you give me a thumbs up, guys, if you can see my screen? Can you see my screen? Yep. Okay, cool. So first of all, guys, a couple of announcements. If you haven't met me, if you're a new distributor, well, welcome. My name is Charlotte Venter. That's my hubby of 25 years, and my son Brandon, he's 23, and my daughter Robin, she's 20. We live on the Sunshine Coast, have been here for 15 years from South Africa. Love Australia. It's my absolute home. I love the people here. I'm just passionate about this country. And hubby works in Brisbane. We live on the sunny coast, so he commutes up and down every day. Roughly 3 to 4 hours in the car every day driving. And one of my big reasons for working so hard is to get him out of his job. Now, he's not going to retire. He's going to work with me in our business. But our purpose and goal is that the two of us together build LiveVantage to an enormous business so we can leave for our children and our grandchildren. And we want to leave a legacy to help our kids. So super exciting. We are a really close-knit family. We love each other. We always spend a lot of time together. One of our favorite things is to go on holidays. So just love memories that we create on holidays. Anybody on here that's not muted, if you can just mute yourself, please, guys. So welcome to all our new distributors. We're so pleased to have you join our team. And, you know, we always commit our love, support, and training to you, encouragement, inspiration. We want to be known to be a team that's available for our distributors, a team that really walk our talk. That is what we want to be known as. So we really do take your life and your business at heart. It is important for us that you are successful. It is important that you don't feel like you're stuck and you're not getting help. So if you ever feel like that, you need to speak up because we want to help you. So that's our team. We are so happy to have you. And we wish you all the best on your journey. So guys, a couple of announcements quickly is, first of all, is how are you going with your 60-30? We've got 11 days to go, and if you don't know what the 60-30 is, well, we put a challenge out to the whole of Australia to bring 60 people in the month of June and put them in front of a webinar. Now, a webinar is simply an online, like on your computer kind of meeting where we share about LiveVantage, we share about our products, Some people share their stories of how they got into the business, the product stories that they've experienced. And so we've asked you to bring 60 people for the month of June and put them in front of these Zooms. So today, guys, apologies. Amy had actually double booked herself. She was to be on at 7:30 this morning, but she was actually out doing a training. Shame, she feels rotten. She sent huge apologies. So we have rescheduled her for tomorrow morning at 7:30. Now, I want to tell you that this is a lady not to be missed. Amy has extensive knowledge and she has a huge reputation for doing what she does really well and for building a business. So hop on 7:30 New South Wales, Queensland time if you can. The link to join is 144 141 304. So 144 141 304. Hop on at 7:30 tomorrow morning and just listen wherever you are. You can put your video off, but just listen to Amy. And of course, if you have any guests, make sure they get back on there. And then tomorrow night, guys, we've got Fred Graves. He's also a Pro 9. Let me tell you, Fred is one of the best speakers I've heard. He was at the Pro 5 Summit in February that I attended, and he's a really powerful speaker. So again, he's very business orientated. So any people you have looking at the business opportunity would be a great one to put on tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Amy will be talking a lot more about product. Fred will be more business. So guys, we are super excited. In the last week, so much has happened in our business and LiveVantage in general in Australia. One of the things we've managed to do is we've managed to set up monthly opportunity meetings in some key areas across the country. And my absolute purpose, and so is Pam's and a lot of the other leaders, is to grow this throughout all the main cities in the next 6 months. By the end of this year, we want to make sure we have opportunities at least once a month in every area. So we're starting for the month of July. There will be a monthly meeting in Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth. And there will be bi-monthly meetings in Newcastle, Port Douglas, and Yeppoon. Guys, we want to go to Townsville, Cairns. I think actually we're going to be putting Cairns in there as well. We want to be in Tasmania. We want to be in Orange. Wherever you guys are, we want to be there. So if there's an area here that's not covered, please private message me. Let's see if we can actually cover that area for you and start setting up a monthly meeting. Even if it's bi-monthly or quarterly, let's just start getting momentum going for you. The quickest way, guys, to grow your business is for us to start having monthly meetings in your area. So please do let me know if your area is not covered. So very soon, guys, in the next week, these events right up to the end of this year, so up to the end of November, will be put on the Big Blue calendar, and we will draw up a schedule and put it out there. This is open to the whole of LiveVantage, not just Team Heart Australia, the whole of LiveVantage Australia, one Australia, one team, right? That's how we want to work. So compensation plan changes, guys. This is a new announcement. Now, what has happened on the 1st of January when there were comp plan changes, for some reason, Australia actually was put on a different comp plan. Now, I won't go into the detail of that, but there's two things that need to be changed, and it's going to be changed effective the 24th of July. The first one is on silver packs. You will no longer earn a Smart Start bonus of 40%, but it's going to be 30%. The company is trying to encourage people to go on gold packs and platinum packs. And you know my feeling about it, guys. A platinum is the way to go. There's so many benefits to a platinum. So I don't actually have any kind of issue with the silver pack going down to 30% because I hardly ever will enroll somebody on a silver pack. The second change is preferred customers will be going from 40% down to 30%. Now, one of the reasons for that is our new loyalty system. You know, we're giving a lot back to distributors, which we never got points or some kind of a commission structure, you know, like the loyalty system we have now for us enrolling preferred customers, right? We just used to get 40% or 30%, but now there's this whole loyalty system. So LifeVantage has had to reduce the commission on preferred customers down to 30%. So irrespective of whether your PV is 200 or not, you're going to earn 30%. Let me rephrase that. If your PV is 200, it doesn't mean you're going to earn 40%. The maximum you're going to earn is 30%, right? On a silver and on preferred customers. As I mentioned, that's effective the 24th of July, so they've given us a month grace. I believe there may be a bit of a longer extension for people that have enrolled this year, but I will find out and confirm that with you. I'm just waiting for confirmation from head office. So if you want any clarity on this, come through to one of the leaders or your sponsor, but it's simple, pretty simple, 2 changes. Right, guys, a few other announcements is there will be no backdating this month. So, normally when we get to the end of the month, we have 1 or 2 or 3 days where we can actually enroll people like on the 1st or the 2nd of the next month and ask corporate to backdate that to the previous month to affect our points. Well, this month it cannot happen because it's the end of financial year. So close of business absolutely will be the 30th of June, 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I think that's about 12 hours or so after, I'm not sure. I sort of always look at midday the next day. Did you know that we are not allowed to sell products on eBay, Gumtree, Amazon, or any of those platforms? Guys, I don't know if you saw last week, LifeVantage announced that products will no longer be sold on, what site, where was it, G? Can you tell me?
Amazon.
It was Amazon, right? So I believe that a year ago they started working with Amazon. Guys, LifeVantage goes to extreme measures now to find out which distributors are sitting behind those sales. No matter if you create an account and that person's name linked to that person, linked to that person, so it's got nothing to do with you, they will catch you. I promise you. I know of some really top leaders as in high ranks, guys, that have lost their businesses. Be very careful. You cannot sell our products on eBay, Gumtree, Amazon, or any of those kind of platforms. Another reminder, guys, is this is the final month to qualify for those cash incentives, right? So Pro 3, $500 US, Pro 5, $1,000 US. So if you have not yet gone Pro 3 or 5, do everything you can to get it this month because you're going to be getting this extra bonus, which is awesome. Gee, this goes back to, was it April?
Which?
This bonus. So if you got
the bonus it started in January to March, and then they extended it from April to June.
That's so right.
You have to, but if you got it in April, you have to get it this month to qualify for the 500. So you've just got to qualify June.
Cool. That's right, guys. So if you, between April and the end of June, have made the rank of Pro 3 or Pro 5 for the first time, you need to make sure that you make it again this month so that you earn this bonus. Okay, a really, really good little bonus. It's our last month. And then, guys, next Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, I'm going to host a Bahamas opportunity meeting and a question and answer night. So Bahamas opportunity meeting means any distributor that you've had at the events this weekend and they haven't yet quite made the decision, they're not quite over the line yet, on Wednesday night next week, I'm going to host an opportunity meeting and I'll ask some of the girls to come in on it with me so that we can help you get those people over the line when we show them how they can qualify for the Bahamas. So this is not just about taking a business on board. This is actually about getting a free holiday next year, May, to take their family to the Bahamas. Awesome, awesome opportunity. So mark that in your diary, 8 o'clock next Wednesday on my normal Zoom. I will advertise it in any way to remind you. So a couple of refreshers, guys. Suddenly, I don't know why, but suddenly we're getting a lot of people that when they enroll themselves, they are coming into the system as a retail customer and not a preferred customer. Now, what are the differences? Have a look at this chart or this table. A preferred customer, when you enroll yourself, you've got to click on Join Us. So whenever you send somebody your link, always make sure you say to them, click on Join Us. If they click on the product and then they go into the cart, they're going to actually buy the product as a retail customer. So be careful there. Now, why don't you want them to buy it as a retail customer? Because look at the price difference. $52 opposed to $63, $11 more they're going to be paying. Your commission is based on 30% of the Smart Start bonus, so it's $15 on the $52. Whereas in retail, you get paid the difference between the wholesale and the retail price. That's your commission. So it's $11. So even for you, it's better. And at the end of the day, the customer is going to pay $66.20 opposed to $78.30. That's a huge difference. So always make sure, guys, that you're asking your customer to click on Join Us and not on the product or on the cart. Right, another thing is a couple of questions. So product information, guys. So has somebody asked you, are the ingredients used in Protandim that are organic? Like, is Protandim fully organic? Well, here's the answer. If you haven't yet got this, make sure you jot it down. But the answer is no, they're not certified organic. However, at LiveVantage, we perform pesticide, herbicide, and heavy metal testing on every lot of raw materials to assure we have only safe, high-quality products. So great answer there. The next question, are the raw ingredients tested? So yes, the quality control measures implemented by LiveVantage go beyond industry standards. Isn't that exciting to know? LiveVantage rigorously tests every lot of active raw material for identity, potency, microbial contamination, pesticides, and heavy metals. Unlike most dietary supplement companies, we also physically audit all of our active raw material suppliers. We perform exhaustive testing to verify that all materials meet or exceed our quality specifications. Pretty cool to know we have that guarantee from LiveVantage that our products will always be top quality. And another question, does Protandim Nerve 2 Synergizer contain any animal byproducts? And the answer is no. Protandim is all natural. Protandim NRF2 Synergizer is 100% vegetarian, free from gluten, wheat, dairy, gelatin, and yeast. Now I can tell you that our True Science does contain a little bit of whey protein, which makes it not vegetarian because whey protein is obviously derived of animals. But it's a tiny little portion of it. But Protandim is 100% vegetarian. So guys, let's hop on to this training. And I really want to ask you tonight to forget about what's going on in your life. Shut the door where you're sitting. Forget about, you still got to go do this, you still got to do that. Just give me 20 minutes to really impact your life. Doing this training this afternoon, it again impacted on my own life. And it is these laws, these 15 laws, if we together grow as a team and we implement these laws in our own lives, holy moly, we are going to be unstoppable. Unstoppable. You watch. When we do this together as a team, we don't want to leave anybody behind. We are all on this journey together and we are all putting our arms in one another and we're saying, come on, let's do this. And you are going to grow beyond what you ever thought you could be. So tonight's training is this, the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by Dr. John C. Maxwell. And you know, he says this, which really does make you think when you stop about and think about it. It says, growth does not just happen. You know, we think it does just happen. We think if we just stay busy in something, we are going to learn and grow. But growth has to be intentional. The foundation for the other 14 laws is totally reliant on this law that we're going to talk about tonight, which is the law of intentionality. This law says that growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to be better. Listen to that, guys. Growth, so self-development, being intentional about it, implementing a plan in your life, is the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to get better. We need to be intentional about growing. You know, a lot of people say, you hear this all the time, oh, I hope this is going to happen. I hope I'm going to be like that. I hope I can one day stand on the stage and speak. Hope is not a strategy. Working hard also does not guarantee success or growth. You can work hard and do the same thing over and over and over and still not succeed. As leaders, and guys, you sitting there tonight as a leader, when you've brought one person into this business, you are seen as a leader because you are leading that person. When you're a parent, you are a leader. You are leading your children. Most of us are leaders in our day jobs. So as a leader, nothing is great until we have touched or changed or affected a life. Do you agree? Like for me, if I, did $1 million a month in sales in my business, but I knew that I had never along the journey changed a person's life, I wouldn't be satisfied. So nothing is great until a life is changed. Everything escalates and becomes better when the people get better. So you think for yourself in this. Let's say you have a business and people in your business, they just do their job over and over and over and over every day. But you as a boss never intentionally plan growth for them. Do you think they're going to get better? They may get a little bit better because repetition is the master of all skill. But are they going to get better where they start excelling? Where they start seeing more for their lives? I don't think so. If the people don't change, grow, and reproduce, then it never becomes great. And this is for you in your own business. Everything escalates and becomes better when our people get better. So in other words, for you and for me, when we invest more time in learning so that we can pass that learning on to our people, they get better. And if they get better and they can grow and change and reproduce, so duplicate, then everything becomes better. And your business and their business and the success and the motivation. Leaders understand greatness begins with them and what they teach and inspire their people to do. But the result of greatness always lies within the people. As a leader, you can only do so much. You can be good and you can be great only if your people are good or if your people are great. We can have a good team, but it only becomes great when we influence others. So stop tonight and ask yourself, am I influencing the people I'm working with? Am I influencing them in a positive way? Or is it maybe in a negative way? When they duplicate what I'm doing, even when it comes to your self-development, is it a good thing? Are they growing? There's two questions that you need to ask yourself. If you can answer these in a positive way, then you're going to be successful. But if you cannot answer these in a positive way, then you're not going to be successful or as successful as you would like to be. So what are those questions? Number one, what are you doing to develop yourself? So let's pause for a few seconds and you think about that. What book are you reading at the moment? What programs are you tuned into? What course are you doing? Now I can hear it. I can hear through my earphones, through this computer. I can hear you thinking, I'm too busy. I can barely find time for my business. I don't have the money to pay for a course. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to learn. It's okay. We're going to get to those objections in a minute. If you can say, oh, I'm doing a lot, I have a personal growth plan, I read and I listen to messages and I've identified my growth plan, then you're really in good shape, guys, for success. That's the key. Congratulations, you're on your way. You're not just on your way to your own success, but you are on your way to developing and changing people's lives. Awesome. You start with yourself because you cannot give what you don't have. Guys, we have leaders, and I mentioned to you before, you're all a leader, but we have leaders in our team and across, I'm sure this is across all network marketing, that rely on other leaders to teach their people. It doesn't work because ultimately your people want to look to you. Now, it's different when you're brand new. There's no issue with that. You're brand new and you're learning yourself. That's what we're here for. That's what makes this business so beautiful. But when you've been around for a while, don't take the easy way out and bring in somebody else to train your people. It's good to do that occasionally because people do need variance and variety. But ask yourself the question, am I standing up as a leader and leading my people? If you're not, well, maybe it's because you don't have a self-development plan. Because you see, you cannot give what you don't have. If you're leading others and you have nothing to give them, nothing new to share with them, nothing to teach them, then you will never be what you want to be as a leader. You've heard the saying so many times, right? The person standing at the front is the person making the money. That's leadership. The secret to any leader's success is personal growth in their own life. Personal growth keeps you prepared. It's the preparation for the opportunity, right? An opportunity comes along. If you have not prepared yourself, your mind, your mindset, you've been looking out for this, you'll miss it. You don't go into an opportunity, you grow into an opportunity. Because the more you self-educate, the more you learn, the more you see that opportunity. Question number 2 is, what are you doing to develop others? So number 1, what are you doing to develop yourself? Number 2, what are you doing to develop others? So on the first question, you are foundational for your future. But the second question is all about compounding, multiplication, and duplication in others. You've heard it said, network marketing is about duplication. And the same thing comes down to teaching. You start to build a huge business when you know how to develop other people. That's really where the magic starts kicking in, guys. Important to understand about this law is that you cannot develop yourself or others unless you are intentional about it. So intentional means you've got a plan. You know what you're doing. You've got it scheduled in. If you don't grow personally, you cannot be a good leader. But if you grow personally, you can be a great leader. And guys, we're not talking about, 50 hours a week. It's just those small little things, but being intentional about them. So growth is not automatic, right? If you're going to grow, you're going to have to grow on purpose. You've got to be intentional. Now, there's growth gaps, guys, and a lot of us fall in these categories. So what are the things that keeps us from getting to where we want to be or keeps us from growing? So the first one is an assumption gap. And the assumption gap says, I assume I'm going to grow automatically. If I just keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to grow automatically. Yes, you will get a little bit better, but you're not going to grow as much as you would if you actually just did some training, if you developed yourself better. 99% of people fall within this trap. I realized a long time ago that the assumption gap is not going to work for me. That assumption of just knowing I'm going to grow automatically, it's too slow. It just doesn't work for me. The second gap is the knowledge gap. So this is one where people say, I just don't know what to do. I don't know where to grow. You know, getting started is the key to growth and the key to life. Getting started is the key to just about anything and everything. And it's the same with this. You know, I often say to my kids, don't be like a car that's just parked in a garage. Just get in that car and start driving it, and you will be steered to where you need to be. And the same thing is with this. Just get started. Get in that car, turn the key, and just start going forward. And then you'll be steered to where you need to be in terms of your own growth. The value you give to someone else is in getting them started. Guys, do you know what incredible value that is if you can help your teammates start learning, just get started with a self-development plan? That's enormous. Everything in life that you're ever going to want is based on the ability to grow yourself. You know, you may think, oh, I don't need to grow, but maybe you need to grow in mindset. That's not skills of how to speak to people, but that's the mindset that, you know, I'm going to continue until, I'm going to continue until, I'm going to continue until, I'm not going to get down when they say no. I know I'm going to succeed. Mindset is a huge thing. Here's a few more key gaps, and maybe you can identify with some of these. You know, I don't have enough money. I don't have experience. I don't have a mentor to tell me what I should be learning. I don't have a model to follow. The time isn't right to begin. I'm afraid of making mistakes. I have to find the best way to do it, or I just don't feel like doing it. Do you know what, guys? If we went by our feelings, we would never succeed. That's one thing I've really had to teach myself, is to totally divorce my feelings from what I knew I had to do. Because if I didn't do what I knew I had to do, the consequences was large. So did I stop and think about, do I feel like picking up the phone and calling a prospect? If I did stop and think about it, I would never have made the call. But I just removed my feelings and my emotions, and I just did what I had to do. And I still do that today. Do I every day feel like calling prospects? Hell no. I don't. But I just do it. Do I feel like going to a meeting and meeting somebody new and telling them about the whole thing? Not always. But I just get dressed, get in the car, and I go. Because I know that's what I've got to do. And it's the same with self-development. You don't not start because of what you don't have. You know, this is in general, even in our business. A lot of people don't start using the product because of what they think it doesn't have, instead of looking at what it does have and starting with that. The same with a business. And the same with self-development, is some people don't get started because of what they feel they don't have. It may be money. I haven't got the money now to do this, you know, Tony Robbins course. Well, go to YouTube and go and watch every single video that you can find on Tony Robbins. I almost want to guarantee you by the time you've watched all those videos, you've done his full course, right? There's always ways of doing something if you want to. You don't start because you don't realize yet that the fruit of everything good in life begins with a challenge. Guys, it's not easy. There's nothing easy in life that's worthwhile. Everything worthwhile is an uphill, just about everything. It's not just going to fall into your lap. It's always going to be difficult, but the rewards are going to be enormous. So this is John Maxwell's plan for how do you develop a growth plan. Number one is you make a commitment to intentionally grow. It's really simple to do and it's simple not to do. So right now, this very second, guys, are you committed? Are you committing to making a plan within the next 24 hours for yourself to grow? Now, that doesn't have to be involved. It's very simple. It could be one book. It could be one area where you feel like you're lacking information. Make that commitment public, step number 2. A commitment that's not public is worthless. A shared commitment becomes a strong commitment. So I ask you, go onto our Team Heart Australia Facebook page and put in there if you are committed to a self-development plan. Okay, guys? And then what is it? What are you committing to do, let's say in the next month? Put it out public. Let's hold one another accountable. Number 3 is identify the areas that you want to grow personally. Just pick 2. One is an area of choice, so it's something like your attitude or your mindset or discipline, and the area of skill is the second area. So speaking in public, or it may be a social media platform that you want to learn, whatever skill you feel like you lack the most right now. So one is like in you, in your person, attitude, mindset, discipline. Maybe you're struggling with something like anger. Well, don't just let it rule your life, guys. There's a lot of stuff out there that can help you manage anger. It could be anything. Learn around those 2 things, okay? So one is a skill and one is your personal development. Number 4 is invest 30 minutes a day on those 2 areas, 15 minutes each. You may do one in the morning and one at night before you go to bed, okay? Every day, 7 days a week. This is what John Maxwell says, right? He says this is the way that you learn and you overcome these things. Number 5 is invest 1 hour a week to reflect and write down what you've learned. Now, you may only write key notes or key words. You don't have to go write a whole, essay. You may just take 20 minutes to reflect. Do whatever you can do. But the basis of this plan is number 1, commit. Number 2, go public and tell everyone. Number 3, identify those 2 areas that you need help in the most right now. Number 4 is invest 30 minutes, 15 morning, 15 night on those 2 things. Number 5 is take some time over the week. Maybe you do that a Sunday night and you just spend 10 minutes and write down a few keywords of what you've learned. And then number 6 is share your growth plan with someone. Now, guys, we've all got accountability partners, right? How about you hold one another accountable on this one? Share every week, only share and spend time with people who are happy that you are growing and you're making progress. Drop the friends who are not happy with your progress. Make some new friends. Guys, if your spouse is not going to be supportive of you growing, don't on a Sunday night sit down and say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I did all this week. Rather, don't speak to your spouse about it. Rather, share it with somebody else who's going to give you some really good feedback and a good, high five. So be careful who you share that with. But this is gold, guys. This is gold. This is how you implement self-development into your own life. I'm going to be doing this myself. I have not been that consistent with it. So I'm going to be implementing this for myself as well. So let's challenge one another to do this. Guys, remember, you cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. So tonight can be the night where you seriously change direction. Start taking ownership of being that leader that needs to know what to do, needs to know something that their people don't know so that they can teach them, right? Be that leader. And the biggest danger that you face in this very moment now, guys, is the idea that you will make intentional growth a priority later. Just don't fall into that trap. Because right now you'll have all this stuff come into your mind. It'll be going, next week I'll do it, or in a month's time I'll do it, or after the 60-30. No, guys, make a decision now and just implement it. Even if you've got to do 5 minutes a day, implement what you can and then just do it consistently. So guys, start today. You probably won't feel like doing it, but do it in any way, because I know you're going to be glad you did, and you're going to see it in the success and in the results of your business. So guys, that's it, the law of intentionality. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you've learned something from that. My screen stopped sharing. I hope you guys, you've learned something from that, and I hope you saw many of the screens. Did you see enough of the slides? Yeah, cool. Awesome. So are you ready to commit for self-development, guys? Yeah? Awesome. So please put up your posts. I can't wait to see what you're going to learn on. And I'm looking so forward to seeing all of you this weekend. I'll be at all the different events, and we'll give you a big hug and a big cheer on. So please come along. Bring your guests, guys. It's going to be a great weekend. And yeah, Judith, do you want to say anything? Karen, are you on here, Livy? Anybody got a question or any comments?
No, just I just really want to encourage everyone. Yeah, that it's the 20th today. I've just found a couple of red distributors, auto ships that didn't go through. So just maybe take the time, if you've got time, to check and make sure all your customers' ones are going through. There's a lot of expiries, I think, with credit cards around this time of year, 6th, 7th, end of financial year kind of time with credit cards. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing whoever's coming on Thursday. And let's end the end of June really well. I want to see heaps of rank advancements. I'm declaring that there's going to be about, I don't know, double figures, rank advancements everywhere. So yeah.
Awesome. Anybody got a question or comments?
Charlotte, I'm just wondering if you could, next time you're talking to corporate, if you can just flag with them if there's any way that when a credit card is due to expire, that the customer gets an email.
Sure.
Rather than, as you can appreciate, all of us distributors, we're busy, but we don't really have, as we grow, we're not going to have the time to actually sit there and go through all of the customers.
Great idea, Helga. I've already started typing my email, so I'll send it right now.
Awesome.
But yeah, excellent idea. Thanks, Livy.
Thank you.
Anything else, guys? No?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Yeah, go.
I just want to say I'm really thanks, Charlotte. I'm really happy to hear about LifeVantage and their actions with these other sites, because it's really disappointing as a distributor when you look online and see these other platforms that are selling Protandim. So I have sent an email expressing my disappointment to LifeVantage. So who knows if I'll get a reply, but I'm glad that they are onto it, because it's not good. It's not cool.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Look, I really believe that this shutting down of Amazon is going to make some of those distributors go, whoa, now we better be careful, because up to now, they just got away with it, so.
Well, they've gone to eBay now. I've sent a link up to
yeah,
and you know what I meant.
yeah. Well, thanks, Madge. Guys,
Thank
you know
you.
what? There's no harm in you sending an email to compliance@LifeVantage.com and complain and say we're seeing a lot of sales on eBay, whatever, because the more pressure we put, the more they're going to focus on shutting all those guys down. So,
Excellent.
there's a fairly lengthy court proceeding really to get this done, because LifeVantage has to actually take eBay to court and get them to release all the information of all the people that are selling this product. So you can imagine, but I know it's coming. They're going to shut them all down. There are unfortunately also fake products, guys, that are being sold on eBay. They're not the genuine stuff. So warn your customers that there's no guarantee with that. If they buy a product and it's fake, they've lost their money. And also they're putting that stuff in their body. Who knows what junk it could be. So just be careful with that.
I just had a look then, and it's actually really good. If you put in Protandim Australia, none of them come up as an Australian distributor. It all says from United States. So a bottle of Protandim, it's saying is $40 or $45, but the shipping is $35. So if anyone chooses to do eBay, it's actually costing them more money
Silly.
than it would cost from here. So it's NRF1, it's showing $90 postage for bottle. So yeah, so it's really expensive if they think they're getting it cheaper on eBay. And it's all United States distributors, which is a bit out of our hands and Pamela's hands, really.
Yeah. Guys, let us know if you would prefer the training to be moved back to 7:30. I know every time when it's daylight savings, we move it backwards and forwards, and it's a little bit late, maybe the 8 to 9. So if 7:30 suits you better, pop us a message. But of course, we'll go with the majority and maybe keep it short, like 35, 40 minutes. So we've gone a bit long tonight, but if you do prefer the 7:30, let us know. So I'll let you guys go. Have an awesome week. Thank you so much, guys. 5:30 Perth time, yeah. You guys have done so amazing this month. I'm holding thumbs and doing everything I can this month to get to that elite rank. So thank you for everything you do. I'm so grateful. And we'll see you this weekend. Hi, Virginia. Yeah.
Hi. I just want a point of clarification. You mentioned about the close of business, particularly for this month, for June.
Yeah.
That would close at 11:59 p.m. Australia time.
It's Mountain Standard Time, so it's Utah time. Yeah.
Because in Utah, they would still have because we are 1 day ahead of them.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So yeah, it's MST time, Mountain Standard Time, which is the Utah time. So it works out to about sort of midday on the 1st for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that case, we can still enroll before the midday of the 1st and still request that be accounted for the end of June.
Yes, right? That's fine,
okay.
Navi. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Pleasure. Okay, guys. Lots of love. See ya. Bye.